don't know, what's this eyebrow popping up here?
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh no.
This is my dad's brother, my dad's younger brother. Well, it was abandoned, so when they abandon it, there's, you know, it disappears. We're surrounded with hills.
Is it January? January, and he thinks it's winter.
Where we were born, up there where the van is.
I don't feel connected. This was where they were born. This is where it all started.
Your great grandmother used to be here between my amja, my uncle, and my house. Used to be here.
So my great grandmother,
your great grandmother and grandfather was here, in between the two sons, and then this was my house, your dad's house, where we were born, going back quite a bit actually. So, you know, there was a lovely arched room here, like again an arch, my uncle and us as well.
I think we've been blessed really to come here and see all this. I mean, like, so this has been knocked down. I'm just like, well, who knocked this down? I mean, Mum was saying.
No, I am very, very disappointed, because when I was in London, I've made all the plans to come and restore this. I still have them, all the way that it was. I was going to rebuild it the way it was, restore it the way it was. And when I came here, there was nothing here. I was very disappointed.
Mum said that it was something to do with they could be a bit dangerous or something.
No,
I mean, I'm looking at that there. They don't look too healthy.
No,
there.
that was an excuse.
Was it?
That was an excuse, because the government should have just said, right, we're going to support these so that they don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. I also understand that some of them were very dangerous.
I mean, that don't look too safe. That. I mean, deep down. I mean.
Well, yeah. It
I mean, but there again, it's been there. What? How long?
I would say because great granddad built it for them, for your granddad.
Nah.
And that would have been, say, your cousin, not your cousin, your uncle Seval. His 70. I think he's 77, and I think that's about 80-year-old. I don't think it's much older than that. And same with all these houses that they were here. But I cannot confirm that for sure. But I think it's about 70 or 80 years old. And it's not very old. It looks old, but it's not very old.
I mean, I look at it now and I can't imagine it. I can imagine it like you guys as kids. You know, like I remember I went in your gallery and I saw that picture you done.
That was in front here.
Was that there?
Yeah.
Okay.
My front door would have been here. Would have been here, and the house would have started from here, right? And there was a little stream running down, and there was a sort of a slab where the river, the water used to go underneath. So we stood there in front of the door, and the cameraman, with very old-fashioned, like he puts.
Okay, yeah.
He puts the hood over it, and he focuses it, and he comes out, takes the photograph, and that's where we were. But that was 1954.
Wow.
I was 4 years old.
1954.
I was 4 years old there then.
My dad was still holding me in his pocket. Mate, well, this is like, as much as like, you know, I took you back to Deptford and Bermondsey and stuff like that, and I took you to key locations. It's a key location, isn't it? You know, I feel a different way, because when I done the Bermondsey one, I felt a different way of when I was presenting it. I was presenting what we was doing there. When I was talking, I felt like I was a bit like a little kid going through old memories and bits and pieces. And then when I went to Bermondsey, I felt like, not Bermondsey, Deptford, I felt like I was a bit more in my prime because I was a naughty boy in Deptford, and
grown up more.
Oh yeah, you're gonna know anyway when you see the second series. But you see, I was a little bit more. You got to remember, I was 20, 25. If you're not in your prime at 20, 25, when are you ever going to be in your prime? And I had a different persona. The way I was doing it was different. And I come here, and I feel completely different. The way
I don't think that you've got any attachment here yourself, because
I feel like I'm learning here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There, I could tell you what I was doing.
This is where your father was, you know, it was his feelings like my feelings. My back, you know, in the past, that when I was here, it breaks my heart to see the way it is, because at the time that when I was here in '60s, it was bustling. It was like,
I can imagine. I mean, we're looking around. I mean, if they look on that aerial view as well that we've done, where we lifted the drone and we've done a 360, you can see actually it's really big. It's really big.
It is very big.
It's really big.
It should have been in the '60s film to see how it was. And this here was, as how should I say it? When people used to come from different villages going to other places with donkeys and carts, I believe that they used to pass, say for instance, they were coming from about 20 miles or 30 miles away.
Rest point, like a rest point?
Rest point, yeah. We call it hung, you know.
Okay.
And they used to come in here and they used to put the animals in here. This is what I think. And then the next day they used to carry on going to other villages, but they probably could have come from a very, very long way.
So I see the road is called Zeynep Sokak.
Yeah. And Zeynep Sokak was named after Süleyman Amca's wife,
which is the house next door to where Mum.
On the corner. And she never had any children. But at the time when they were giving the names, someone says, what shall we name this? And I think that it's her nephew said, call it Zeynep. Nobody objected, and it became Zeynep. So you see, that's what they named all these after '74. So I suppose if we were here, we probably would have called it different, but we weren't, so there weren't many objections. But there's nothing wrong. A name is a name.
Singer.
Yeah, there used to be a tailor.
Yeah, it's like the Singer sewing machines.
But this used to be a tailor.
Even when you was younger, yeah?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They've restored it or something. They fixed it. But
it's crazy when we say tailoring, Amja, because I remember Hala, your sisters, when I used to go around there as a kid. All I did was that.
That's not tailoring. That wasn't tailoring. That was machining.
Machining.
Yeah.
But I always remember the Singer machine.
Yeah. Well, brother.
Was it brother?
Yeah, it was brother.
Was it brother?
Yeah, it was brother.
I thought it was a singer.
No, it was brother.
I wanted it to be a singer when I grow up.
No, singer.
Was it a singer?
Singer was a very popular make, but before brother, I would imagine, and brother was industrial one.
Yeah.
So singer, I don't think it was industrial, but this was, his name was Fikret, and good tailor, and I think that my first suit was made here in 1963, and that's when I left Cyprus.
1963.
Well, 64 I left.
Yeah.
But we were going to leave in '63. Me and and your grandmother and grandfather. But because of the war, we got stuck here and then left a few months later. This was my dayus, your great dayus. Um, that was.
It just looks so nice. Just look at this. It's like.
It was not like that, Mehmet. That was a
was this
lovely
was
door.
this was this
There was
his?
a lovely wooden door there. In fact, I don't think that there was a door there. There's the door. That's the main door over there.
Come and have a look at this in here. It's like, what an amazing building. It's like, I mean, look at the see like the floorboards, the way they are. They've rotted, and such an amazing building. Can you imagine putting every single one of these up? Like,
well, I think the same builder built this, and it's fantastic. I love this.
Like amazing.
And these stones is from our village. There's a hill up. It's called Goa, and this is where it was from. And your great uncle used to cut all these.
You can see these. Is this chisel?
No, it's
a machine.
It's not chisel. It's not machine. There was no machine. It was like an axe, like that, and you used to cut it like that and clean it and level it. They used to level it all out.
Wow.
And it's like pointed. It's like
teethed
nails.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
nails,
Okay.
pointed thing, and that way you can cut it. But these stones were special stones. When the water gets to it, it gets tougher. Yeah. And some of the stones, which there are, the water goes on there and it just melts away. It wears away.
I'll bring some back. I'll bring some stones back. I'll give it to some of my clients that are watching this.
But I think that look at it's fantastic.
It's amazing.
They used to build that.
Yeah. I've always been big into architecture. I always feel like it says a lot about a place. You know, if you look at a lot of the places now today, they're just very plain. They've got no art about it. Do you know what I mean?
This used to be our Enişte's house, Kemal Enişte house.
Kemal Enişte?
Ziliha Hala.
Okay.
This used to be their house.
Wow.
And this was the cinema.
Do you remember when you said to me you used to sell tickets?
Yeah.
Who used to sell the tickets? You said my Enişte.
Not to this cinema. Our Enişte, Ibrahim Enişte, Sherife Hala's husband.
Yeah.
It was another cinema. In this village, there was 2 cinemas. But that one wasn't very successful.
That's because he was selling the tickets. Or he was taking the money.
I don't know, but this became more popular.
So that was my Ibrahim Enişte.
Ibrahim Enişte.
So Yus, Mus, if you're listening to this, yeah, remember what your old man was doing and selling tickets.
Very briefly.
I love you lot loads.
Very briefly. So this was the cinema. This was a summer time cinema, where at night time there was no rain, so they used to sit there, and at the back was the screen. The big wall was the screen for the cinema, and the main building was the winter one. And what we used to do, Mehmet, our house was just over there, and we used to go up on the roof, and we used to watch half of the.
What? So you could see it from the next socket there, yeah? Your house was there.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
There was no palm tree there.
Okay, I got you.
That was later, and we used to just go onto the roof, sit on there, and I used to watch half of the cinema.
That's amazing, isn't it? You know, I've explained in the book as well, you know, as much as Dad was a worker or whatever he was, you know, without Mum, you know, I mean, we don't have much, but what we do have, I think Mum's held it together, you know. I found it hard, Amja, when he passed away. I found it very hard. And I know we all did, and we all dealt with it in different ways.
I couldn't believe it when I was told he was ill.
And I said to myself, like, how do you've got to remember it was really the first mortality of our family. As we've grown, it was something that we never expected. You know, we never expected it.
O da gelini, kızıdır, kızıdır. Geldiler
Hoş buldunuz.
ya, ben şimdi şu geldi ben de geleceğim. Geldiler Hülya'yla. Hadi selam söyleyin.
Village life, isn't it? You know how people stop and say hello and they have that bit of time for you. Dad liked the chat. Is that what he liked?
I think we all do.
You know,
We
I
all
mean,
do. Here they've got time.
they've got time.
Let's chat.
In London, it's just,
Oh no, you've got no time in London.
there's
No.
there's no time. So Amjad, this is the,
This is the primary school
okay. So this primary school you came to,
I came to.
Mum come to.
I would imagine so. But I think
You don't remember Dad though coming here, no? Did Dad come to school?
your dad never did like school. He did go to school, but he never did like going to school. He always used to bunk off.
So how many kids would have come here then? I mean, do you see this open now? I mean, like, it's Tuesday today.
There's no school in here.
They school in Louroujina now. Really? So where do they go? Into Nicosia, Lefkosia?
No, they've got. I think they go to the nearest village, and the council puts a bus every morning, and then they take them to the school, and in the evening they bring them back.
So, I mean, like you just saying that, yeah, I think that's a big, that's a big cripple. It's like a big fracture in the village to not have a school.
They did have it.
They had it, but they don't have it.
That's right.
So by them not having a school, what attraction would this bring outsiders to come in? I mean, if I come and live here and I want to bring up my family, where am I going to send my children to school?
No, you wouldn't think to come and live here.
No, but so this is how I'm saying, this village is slowly, is it getting better?
No. No, it's. I'm not sure.
That's
I
a,
could call it getting better.
is there growth?
But
So this was built by you.
English,
So this was done by the British.
the British built.
So you can see we've always had a connection with the British. Always.
But this was ruled by Britain, I think, late 70s or early 80s, 1700, late 1700 to
100 years or something it was, wasn't it? Something like that.
yeah. The Ottoman has, I don't know whether I read it different, but the Ottoman has rented it to Britain. This is how I read it. I don't know whether
I heard, yeah, I heard it was sort of like,
the Ottoman has gone to Britain to rule. Britain ruled it, and after the Second World War, Turkey couldn't touch it because after the First World War, because that's when Turkey has become Turkey and not Ottoman. There were the Young Turks and the Kemal Atatürk, which freed all Turkey and couldn't go into the Second World War because they've just come out of the First World War and they didn't want to. They just wanted to protect. This is how I believe they protected their own. And then, of course, they couldn't come to Cyprus, and England was in Cyprus. That was it, finished. There was no way that Turkey would have come back here and started war to say, I want my land, I want my island. No, because it wasn't just this island. It was Crete, Rhodes, and all the 12 islands. So what are you doing about the 12 islands? You can't just come here. You've got I don't know, you know, politics. And then this is what we found ourselves in 1961. All the Greeks, it was the Greeks who were fighting the British to,
Extradite them.
yeah, to say we want independent because this is our island. I think, look at the bricks.
Yeah.
How can anyone allow this to be destroyed?
I don't know.
I mean, isn't that a shame?
You know, there's part of me that feels like, you know, I went online, and I looked, and as many. Do you know how many Louroujinalers? So when I say Louroujinalers, I mean say people that were from Louroujina initially, that left, went to like London, maybe went to Aktawan, like what you said, and whatever, and they've had kids. Do you know how many connected Louroujinalers there are?
Do you know the population of Louroujinalers in England?
No.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but 15 years ago, I heard there was 18,000. Now, I hear there are about 30,000.
I heard there's 42,000 worldwide.
Well, I don't know about.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dispute that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't dispute that.
42,000. So that is people that are not just in London, people that have gone to
globally. Well, I quite agree with it because our population as a family, from your granddad, my dad, your grandmother, should I say, my grandmother down, we used to be 7. 5 of us and my granddad, that 7 with my grandmother, 7 and 2, that would have been 9. And now we're over in the time of 80 years, 70 years. We're about 80 people. 80 people. How many times has been doubled?
Yeah.
So that's just
tenfolded.
And that's just us, which are not a very big family.
Yeah.
So there are families which are bigger, more.
Yeah, I'm at awe at the moment, you know. I'm just trying to take it all in. You know, like I think about the cinema, I think about my uncles, my cousin, not my blood uncles, they're married to my aunties, selling tickets at the front of the cinema, the sewing place, him getting his first suit. You know, all these images are going through my head, and it was very unusual for me to wear a suit because I've, you know, by then it was, I never wore any, that was like long trousers, which I've never had before. And because going to London, in fact, I didn't want to go to London. I was crying. I didn't want to go. And I was what, 13? I just didn't want to go. I said, where am I going to go? But all brothers and sisters were over there, and there was nothing for us here anymore. We stayed here because grandmother and grandfather was alive, and we didn't want to leave them. We didn't want to abandon them. And then when they passed away in 1963, both of them, your great granddad, Osman Laladede, passed away 24th of January. And your grandmother passed in August. I was the only grandchild present at the time when they passed away. I felt quite privileged later on that I was the only one to be there. And I was glad that they've seen someone, like a grandchild. So we were shepherds, no? We were shepherds, yes. Was everyone shepherds here, apart from when you're saying the tailors and the cobblers? No, not everyone. Okay. Not everyone was a shepherd, but there was quite a lot. Okay. This was like a parade of shops, houses, like they were all joined together. There was, I don't remember this being a road here, but probably was. But I don't remember this being a road.
There could have been.
Or even
There's
maybe a little
bridge.
walkway or something.
No, there's a little bridge here.
Yeah.
I think there was a thing where the water runs through. No,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't look like it. Where would it go? I don't know.
It might have run underneath. It could have.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't run underneath.
That's Thames water for you.
But I remember this one being a little river. Maybe from here it gushed over and then just carried on.
You know, it's amazing how you know, when I drive through and I came through here, and you know, I don't like to get political or anything like that. But I can see so many villages have been invested in and bits and pieces. You can see that, you know, people put their money into it, and even though you've done your thing here, you know, and I can see some new houses. Definitely, I can see some new houses. You know, but there's a lot of abandoned houses. There's a lot of houses, because the reason why I say that is because I know there's going to be a lot of viewers here going, "Why are they empty? Why are they empty?"
What they've done, they when they decided that this village is going to move, I'm not sure exactly when it was the date, but they said, right, we're now going to move you from this village for, again, political thing. Say that maybe the village was going to go, whatever, but they say, right, we got to show you some villages, which ones you know. They showed them some and they said, no, this one no, the other village no, and they've looked at Akdoğan and they said, okay, we'll go to Akdoğan. So people from here, this house for instance, said, okay, we'll go. So they've all gone and found a house over there, and then what they've done, they've given this house to the government, and that they've signed it over to say, right, this, I'm having that house or that land over there, and this is my property over here. So what they've done, most of these people, not everyone, has given their property, land and house, as a point, to get a point. I don't know how many points there are to each house. Whatever the value is, the higher the point, the more points there were. So they've all gone. Now, I'm not saying that this house, but I'm giving you an example that this house is now owned by the government, legally owned by the government. But a person from another village, where in Akdoğan, they still say, this is my house. And the government is not saying anything. They can come and use it. They do use it as their own. But they know that it's, they call it eşdeğer.
So what is the percentage of it here that's been...
I don't know the statistic of it, but...
it looks like quite a lot.
I would say...
30% of it is government?
80.
Wow.
I would imagine it's 80% of it.
Wow.
But I could be wrong. If it's 60, it's better. But I believe it's 80 because I tried to buy a property to build my gallery, and I couldn't find any because that was eşdeğer. That was eşdeğer. Eşdeğer is what I said.
It's owned by the government.
Yeah, they've given and got points. So that was the situation. I say 80%. I don't know.
But you're probably not far off it.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But that's what it looks like, because wherever I try to look at, they're eşdeğer.
Look at the lemons.
The lemons have now more matured.
Look at the lemons. Look at those. In London, the closest we got to lemons are conkers.
Well, you won't have lemons.
Yeah, we do. They walk the streets.
Oh yeah.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
So, another question for you. What do you imagine the village to be like in years to come?
Oh, I struggle to think that. I struggle to think that because I look at it how it is now. You know, Uncle showing us around and showing us exactly what it's like, and I think about what it was like 10 years ago, and think about what it was like 20 years ago. It's in a declining way. So if you ask me what the future brings, that's a hard one. The reason why I feel like it's hard is because there's a lot of politics involved. There's a lot of money involved. What's right? What's wrong? So if you ask me what do I feel like the future brings for this village, I don't know. I mean, if you're asking me how it makes me feel, I feel like I want to fucking do something about it. It makes me feel like, it's a beautiful place, and it's got so much scope. It's got so much going for it. Can you relive it again? Of course you could. Can you restart it again? Of course you could. Yeah, I don't know how the future brings it. I like to visualize it all gets regenerated, like you see in other places. Like when I pass through a lot of these villages and I see they've all been regenerated. We went through Skele, we went to Mausa, we went to through Famagusta. You hear about Lefkosha, you hear about all these amazing places in Cyprus that we passed. Like we passed through last night, and it was just like, wow, this place has moved on. It hasn't moved on as much as the south side, but it's moved on. And the crazy thing is that this teardrop has stood still.
Okay.
And if it hasn't stood still it's stood still up to now. And when will it change? When will it change?
Okay. And how does being here make you feel about London then?
Oh, I love London. It's this journey over these 3 documentaries that we've done, and writing this book. What it's done is opened up a whole scale for me. My brain has opened up. You got to remember, me writing this book was an element of therapy myself. I went into the darkest places in my head and revealed them. And as much as there's fiction in it, there's a lot of real stuff in it. That really happened. And that's why it makes you reevaluate maybe why my dad left this village. Fallen asleep. It's absolutely fallen asleep. But London, mate, we should all be very proud of London. London is a phenomenal place. The UK, as much as we all complain about, congestion charge and this and that's it. Of course it is. Yeah, I get it. But it's an amazing place. It's diverse. It's got, it's got everything. It's got everything. I mean, would I go into a place in the UK and you've got a village like this there? I don't know. If you live in a village in the UK that's like this, please comment on it. I want to fucking visit it. But yeah, I love London. I think all of us should be very, very proud of it. Very proud of it, and not disrespect it. That's the thing. Like I tell you, that these videos have really made me look at it. Especially coming here. I've tried. It's like I try and teach my children this as well. Don't waste your time. Your time is so precious. No. Look, none of us are ever going to live forever. So this here is the borderline between the Turkish side and the Greek side.
Yeah, this road used to go straight through to the Olympia. Yes, of course I'm a Cypriot, but I'm a Turkish Cypriot. I'm Turkish, I am proud.
Should we do it?
Lovely. Wakes you up. But it's not poison.
My ears started to grow back.